Thunder Punch forces the final protection onto the pivot into Liepard. The opponent responds with Metachan. Fighter is supposed to counter dark types. Well, today this trainer finds out about Liepard's fairy type coverage. Welcome back to the home of Shadow Pokemon. Today we are entering the Spice Zone the only way I know how, using a triple Shadow team. Today's featured Pokemon is going to be the 707th ranked pick according to pvpoke Shadow Liepard. One Spice pick's never enough, so next up we're going to be taking a look at a Pokemon that is about as rare as rocking horse shit, because it literally doesn't spawn, Shadow Sneasel. Rounding the team off and giving the team some very much needed bulk is going to be a lead of Shadow Hypno. Today's battles were submitted to the channel by a very active member on my Discord, Thisguyslaps. Without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game 1 we lead Shadow Hypno into Abomasnow. It looks like we're back all the way in about season 7 where Hypno was once relevant and Abomasnow didn't have to fear about the buffed wing attack users or them incinerate users. Hypno is the one Pokemon on the team that can tank a hit, however you can see why Abomasnow used to be one of the kings of the Great League as these weather balls come thick and fast and this thing hits hard. Hypno withstands 2, returns fire with the Thunder Punch, and Thunder Punch gains us early shield advantage. Abomasnow does commit to the full Powder Snow farm down and Thisguyslaps sends out Sneasel. Sneasel not going to appreciate this Weather Ball, however we're saving our shields for Liepard. Weather Ball does 60% of our HP. We do commit to the full Poison Jab farm down and the opponent sends out the Quagman and we're going straight for the close combat. Does the opponent respect the damage? Holy, neutral close combat, near one shots, big thick Quagman, and we see the aggressive pivot into Liepard. Liepard shields up the Mud Bomb. We look for the Snarl farm down, and no, the opponent on 1 HP and a Dream make Mud Bomb number 2. We're forced to double shield. The opponent's final Pokemon is revealed to be Gliscor, and this Glass Cannon needs to hit hard. The first Dark Pulse forces the final Protect Shield. Liepard makes Dark Pulse number 2. Does Liepard hit hard enough? Dark Pulse rocks him deep into the red. However, the opponent is going to make a charge move. Please be a Night Slash. No, the opponent's on Aerial Ace, and unfortunately, we're off to a 0-1 start. In the next battle, we see the battle of the Psychic types. Girafarig into Hypno. You can see Hypno far bulkier than this Giraffe. The opponent builds up to potential Thunderbolt or Trailblaze, but Hypno withstands the damage. We then throw one further Confusion, fire off the Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch forces the first Protect Shield. Girafarig's lack of bulk evidently on display as just the resisted Confusions have got this thing low. We see both shields deployed. We see the aggressive pivot into Liepard and the opponent responds with Metachan. And if Metachan don't know about our fairy type coverage, they're about to find out. Metachan straight in and straight out. The opponent now sends out Broxish, and that's about to meet the same fate. We reach the Dark Pulse. It's going to be high Broxish, bye Broxish. Has Liepard got enough health to sweep the entire team? Unfortunately, we do get resisted Confusion farm down. We send out Sneasel. I imagine we're just going to double shield, commit to the Poison Jab farm down, and redemption will be ours. I never thought I'd say this, but Shadow Liepard was absolutely popping off. GG's and thanks for playing. In the next battle, Thisguyslaps leads Hypno into another Broxish outside of Psychic Cup. I have never seen this thing in GBL, but we've now seen one in back-to-back battles. Hypno gonna strike first with the Thunder Punch, and Thunder Punch will be forcing us early shield advantage. The opponent farms up to what could be a crunch, and we're gonna call the Psychic Fang or Aqua Tail. The opponent throws the Psychic Fang. We see the aggressive pivot into Liepard, and again we're going to see the no shield and the double resisted Psychic Fang. The opponent now sends out Galarian Weezing. We can only hit for resisted. How much will this do? Holy, we are not messing about. This Liepard hits so hard. This can only be a Brutal Swing, but Brutal Swing with one further Fairy Wind does get the job done. Thisguyslaps now sends out Hypno. Hypno looking for the one shield Confusion farm all the way down. Show me something we can focus blast, please. Ask and you shall receive. The opponent sends out Alolan Golem. Another very spicy pick. Does the opponent respect the damage? Oof, boo, Mr. Opponent. They shield the Focus Blast and we see the aggressive pivot into Sneasel. Sneasel respects the Wild Charge. The opponent baits with the Stone Edge. However, the opponent doesn't make that catch and Sneasel is going to get his big boom. Close combat vanquishes Alolan Golem. Back to their Pokeball. We're going to die to 2 Confusions with the lowered defense. However, we can send out Hypno and 1 Confusion is going to be all she wrote. GG's and thanks for playing. Hypno into the silly electric fish. The opponent save switches into Greninja. Greninja so incredibly quick to these Night Slashes. The opponent fires off the Night Slash. We withstand the damage. Return fire with the Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch forces once again early shield advantage. Thisguyslaps looks to make the catch, but unfortunately we're stuck in the confusion animation. Hypno gets taken out with Night Slash number 2, and we now send out Sneasel. The poison jab's tearing through Greninja. The opponent at a potential Hydro Cannon, and we see the instant shield deployed. The opponent doesn't bait. They full send. We fire off one further poison jab, and the X-Scissor. X-Scissor does secure the knockout. I imagine Lantern will be returning, and it does. Thisguyslaps farms up, throws the close combat on the CMP tie. Close combat goes unshielded, and their silly electric fish already deep in the red. We see the instant no shield deployed. Surf does secure the knockout. We send out Liepard. Liepard looking for the full. Snarl farm down. The opponent throws on alignment. We're going to be able to shield once. Commit to the full Snarl farm down. Show me something we can nuke in the back. Oof. Bastiodon. This is a real evidence of why people use BBML, because this is just a stat product issue. The opponent shield the first Dark Pulse. We're going to be able to see how much this Dark Pulse does, but it definitely won't two-shot. And this game is over, and we're going to gracefully concede the match. GG's. In the next battle, we see Hypno into Vigoroth. This cheeky little monkey is the king of most theme cups that Niantic like to put together. However, Hypno in the driver's seat, as we do resist the count, as well as our confusions do hit for neutral. Thisguyslaps farms up, throws the Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch won't knock out, but will leave Vigoroth incredibly low. Again, the opponent invests the protection and then give us a full free confusion. Hypno withstands the next body slam, able to reach Thunder Punch number 2, and this is going to secure the knockout or force both shields. Hypno wins lead and gains a shield advantage, and the opponent sends out Politoed. Thisguyslaps thinking what he wants to send out. We send out Liepard. We've already seen that Liepard hits like a truck, but it cannot tank a hit for shit. We shield up the Weather Ball. The opponent already at Weather Ball number 2. This time we're going to tank one. Weather Ball, not the hardest hitting move, but does 65% of our HP. Thisguyslaps throws one further Snarl, and the Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. The opponent then sends out Beedrill. Beedrill has no Protect Shield, too hard behind. Dark Pulse nearly one-shots. We then snipe with Sneasel. Back out comes Politoed. We've still got one Protect Shield, too high behind. We shield up the first Weather Ball. Sneasel looking to reach the close combat, which we reach on the CMP tie, and Sneasel is going to boom Politoed back to his Pokeball. GG's, and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we lead Shadow Hypno into Victreebel. What a beautiful lead. Confusion going to tear through Vic. The opponent opts to stay in and then send out G-Weezy. Holy, this is no response. The opponent ABA weak to Confusion. We fire off the Thunder Punch, forcing a shield. We then look to catch the Brutal Swing onto our Liepard, and we're unsuccessful. The opponent builds up to what could be a play rough. Oof, the opponent full sends a very good shield from Thisguyslaps. We then return fire with the Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse is resisted. We've already seen it does almost 50% of the opponent's HP. The opponent fires off play rough number 2, and it looks like we're just happy to take our shield advantage. We send back our Hypno. Hypno gets the full Confusion farm down. Out comes Toxicroak, which is double weak to Psychic. 3 confusions to delete Toxicroak in the blink of an eye. Back out comes Shadow Vic, and we're going to fire off the BM Focus Blast, and Hypno was a real menace in that battle. GG's. In the next battle, Hypno looks to be a menace once again as the opponent leads Golbat, not appreciating this confusion damage. The opponent throw the Poison Fang. Hypno easily withstands the damage. The opponent then make a very nice catch, catching the Thunder Punch onto, was that Swampert? No, it's Mini Swampert, Marshtomp. The opponent caught the Thunder Punch and then choose to shield anyway. Interesting. Thisguyslaps stays in, shields up the Surf. Are we going to look to throw the Focus Blast? No, we actually make a very nice catch, catching the Surf onto Liepard. But Liepard makes Surf look like Hydro Cannon. That was absolutely ridiculous. I've never seen Surf hit so hard. This isn't even a Shadow Marshtomp. Marshtomp able to outpace the next Surf. Liepard used as the damage sponge. We then send back out Hypno. Hypno fires off the single resisted Thunder Punch, but Marshtomp so low. They would knock out the opponent, shields the first, and Hypno goes straight for the second. The second Thunder Punch does secure the knockout, and the opponent sends out Ampharos. Oof, this is looking rough. Thisguyslaps forced to let Hypno go down. However, unfortunately, Sneasel cannot hit Golbat for any decent damage. We are going to be able to shield up the Brutal Swing, commit to the full Poison Jab farm down. We hit hard, but I just don't see how we're getting rid of Golbat. Back out comes Golbat. Thisguyslaps goes straight for the close combat. Close combat lands. The opponent shrugs off the damage. We're able to outpace to the X-Scissor, and when I thought it was a loss, Thisguyslaps says, "Fuck you, Jamie Finn, you know nothing," and we take the dub. GG's. Hypno into Noctowl. This is exactly where we want to see it. Despite the opponent having access to Shadow Ball, Hypno is definitely our best Noctowl response. The opponent throws the Sky Attack, Hypno withstands the damage. We then return fire with the Thunder Punch. Come on, trainer, let it go. The opponent chooses to shield that out. I won't be surprised if we look to play out the one shield. We see the instant shield deployed from Thisguyslaps. We block the next Sky Attack and Hypno then farms up. Throws Thunder Punch number 2. I think we're now sitting in a pretty good spot, as if the opponent shields, which they do, we're going to have shield advantage for the back line, and Noctowl is so low that we're going to be able to quick move it down. Thisguyslaps takes his shield advantage. We send out Liepard. Liepard looks for the Snarl farm down, but Noctowl so incredibly thick. They're able to reach one last second Sky Attack. Thisguyslaps invests his final Protect Shield. We get a huge Snarl farm down. Oof, Azumarill, definitely not what we're looking to see. Liepard throws the non-stab Play Rough, which still does respectable damage. We then bank the Dark Pulse, pivot into Sneasel, and the opponent sends out Dubwall. Holy, this thing's about to get nuked. Thisguyslaps tanks the Body Slam. We then overfarm, throw the next close combat. I think we should have thrown 4 poison jabs there to maximise our energy. However, we are running out of HP. We nuke the opponent with the close combat. Back out comes Azumarill. We reach the X-Scissor. X-Scissor isn't lethal. Back out comes Liepard. We've got the move bank. We win CMP, and that's going to be all she wrote. Very nicely done. GG's. Thisguyslaps picking up a big win against a very meta team. In the next battle, we lead Hypno into Dunsparce. I've been using this thing in Savannah Cop, and my god is this thing very underwhelming. It just hits like a wet noodle. The opponent save switches into Flying Umbreon. We fire off the Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch goes unshielded and Mandabuzz's bulk on display. We then pivot into Liepard. Liepard not really going to be bothered by Aerial Ace, as Aerial Ace doesn't hit very hard. The opponent actually throw the Dark Pulse. We withstand the damage and we're full sending. Does the opponent respect the damage? The big bulky Vulture gets vanquished. Back to their Pokeball with our Fairy type coverage. Back out comes Dunsparce and the opponent opts to throw energy. Liepard has done its job, so Thisguyslaps opts to let it go down. We send out Hypno. We don't throw at the best timing. However, this is going to allow us to reach the Thunder Punch before the opponent reaches a charge move, and the opponent actually invests that Protect Shield. The opponent also throw at very poor timing, giving us a full 3 confusion. So if you're using 3 turn into 4 turn, the opponent should have just thrown 1 and then the charge move. Hypno with 2 Protect Shields, 2 hide behind, shields up the next drill run. The opponent now sends out Go-Go. I've never seen this thing, but do they survive a Focus Blast? They do not. Go-Go straight in and straight out. Back out comes Dunsparce and Hypno doesn't quite manage to confusion farm down. However, we're probably going to be able to kill him with 1 poison jab and take the dub. GG's and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we lead Shadow Hypno into Blastoise wearing a very silly party hat. Pretty neutral matchup. The Thunder Punch is going to hit for super effective, but likewise Hydro Cannon going to hit for a lot of damage. The opponent strikes first with the Hydro Cannon. That does land for huge damage. Hypno withstands the damage though, returns fire with the Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch force a Protect Shield. Thisguyslaps looks to make the second Thunder Punch and Hypno does survive on a sliver of HP. The second Thunder Punch forces the final Protect Shield. Let's go. We've got a 2 shield advantage, Sneasel and Liepard, and both these things hit like trucks. Thisguyslaps shields up the Hydro Cannon. Thisguyslaps gets the full poison jab farm down. The opponent with no Protect Shields, 2 hide behind, sends out Hariyama. I'll be honest, I've got no idea why we're throwing the X-Scissor. Rather than booming this thing with the close combat, that resisted X-Scissor still did a lot of damage. Now we're going for the massive overkill of the close combat. Despite Hariyama being in the red, we then see the pivot into Liepard and we're going to see the battle of the Dark types. Again, it looks like we're opting for 2 Dark Pulses, which are resisted rather than a neutral Play Rough. It looks like 2 Dark Pulses will get the job done. We shield up the opponent's Dark Pulse, reach our own Dark Pulse, and Liepard is going to reign supreme in the battle of the Dark types. GG's and thanks for playing. And that is going to draw to a close today's a very spicy showcase. Huge shout out to Thisguyslaps for the battle submissions. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you like your battles featured on my channel, a link to a battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.